sacrifice is your life.
So if you have just tuned in, you're listening to Hard Rock Hill Radio. It's Grand Rocks with myself, Jim Henderson. Now, down the line right now, it's an interview that I've been really, really excited about doing. We have Steve, Dan and Lazarus from the fantastic band Worship the Sacrifice. Now, why not kick off by introducing yourselves, your part in the band? And Steve, if you want to cover for Ben, that would be fantastic.
Yeah, sure. So I'm Steve, lead guitarist, and Ben, who fortunately couldn't make it today for the interview, he's the bassist.
My name is Lazarus, and I'm the vocalist.
I'm Dan, I'm rhythm guitarist and live backing.
Fantastic. Now, Lazarus, you bring each song to epic levels, I'm told, reliably. Now, Dan, with you fella, there is no compromise with your crushing riffs and brutal tones. And Steve, as the pillar of the band, you are billed as the seasoned one who injects melodies and harmonies into the mix. And we know that Ben is a well-forged bassist. Now, I had a sneak peek at your band website in prep for today's interview and could not kind of miss the classic rock look of beards. Now, my question to you, anyone and everyone can answer, but who in the band is the most sensitive, the most meticulous when it comes to grooming and shaping that bad attitude facial hair to near picture perfect?
You're going to start a fire here, Jim. Who we saying is it?
When I can be bothered to brush it, I suppose I use a lot of beard oil, beard balm, and I do brush my beard. But Steve's always looked like presentable. Always looks presentable.
Got to represent, man. Got to represent.
Well, I think it's because he's had it less time than us.
Yeah, thank you.
Now, before we share your music to the world, something equally important are band names. Now, Worship the Sacrifice, it's pretty darn scary to say the least. Now, who coined the name? And before you guys agreed it, what other ideas were on the Sacrifice slab?
Ian was the one who sent me a load of band names to choose from.
Give me your top 5. Give me 5.
Yeah, some of them that I remember were Worship the Sacrifice was probably at the top of the list. We had Noxious Crown, At the Altar, Lacerated, I think was one of them.
Prophecy of Demise. I remember that one as well. But I thought that sounded better as an album than a band name.
They're all absolutely wicked. You've chosen the best one, as you said, Dan. Worship the Sacrifice. That's it now. It's written in stone, isn't it? It's on that slab already. Now, as a band, you're particularly new, although I understand you hail from bands gone by. And suffice to say, with all that knowledge amongst the four of you, you have an amazing toolbox, don't you, at your disposal? And have, as the cliche goes, pretty much hit the road running and have something really, really special in your new EP. Now, with that in mind, how does your combined skills manifest itself in your music, writing and playing, and also moving forward when you hit the stage?
I think for us, biggest motivation was being locked in your bedroom 24/7 for a very long time. Lots of pent-up anger, lots of pent-up creativity, and as soon as we discovered each other and sort of melded our sounds together and it forged into like a proper solid sound, that was what just accelerated us forward. We just fell in love with the first 2 songs that we made, and you know, the fact that we had recorded these in our bedrooms at home and for them to sound as good as they do, that was just a massive motivation for us. You say that we hit the ground running. I have to agree with that. We set up pretty much everything very quickly. It was like, I feel like I've been in this band for years. The sort of infrastructure we have going, the processes that we follow, it's really amazing. And you know what? It's really refreshing to work with people that are equally as talented and equally as passionate as you are. And I think the guys would agree there that this has just been a really refreshing and invigorating project to be a part of. And I think going forward, I just see amazing things for us.
I think working with Steve as well, because obviously both of us being guitarists is quite hard or in the past for me to work with other guitarists, having to compromise on riffs, having to, compromise on the amount of riffs to having a song, the way the song should sound. And I think the way that me and Steve are literally like brothers in arms. Like, he lets me with them uncompromising, like, go as angry as you want. Yeah, sure. Like, go as fast as you want, or,
Fantastic.
Go as deep as you want.
That's what it's supposed to be, man. Like, guitarists, we're there, and even like for every member of the band, we're there to elevate each other and to make each other look good, and we're also there to like cover up the cracks in the concrete type things. But like that's what it's all about. And as I say, as Lazarus hit the nail on the head, having that passion and people that just want to get on with it and just want to get things out there is absolutely amazing.
And as much as you lot come with a lot of experience, you're learning new ways of working as well, aren't you? And that's bringing out the best and creating magic, isn't it?
Yeah.
Now, Ian, I'm going to hand it over to you now to introduce our first helping of Worship the Sacrifice.
The song you're about to hear is called Cutthroat. It's one of the more brutal, violent themed songs that we have in our arsenal. It's the first track on our EP. It's hard-hitting, mosh-inducing. You're going to love it.
So what a fantastic... So what a fantastic tune, guys. That was absolutely brilliant. Worship the Sacrifice, you heard it here first. That was Cutthroat from the brand new EP. Now, lads, I watched your blog on your Facebook page, or it may have been your website, which is fantastic, I must say. Now, Dan, I admired your piece on mental health. From your own perspective specifically, it was very open, it was congruent, and a very, very brave thing to do. Now, as an experience, mental health is an issue that resonates with many, many people. Now, that duality you outlined between being composed individual to the outside world, but inside you felt destroyed. Do you want to talk about how, if you want to call it this therapy, the therapy of writing music as a medium to channel your feelings to climax in a phenomenon, and what is the song from your EP, Compose and Destroy?
Yeah, I was going through a very, very dark place. And for years and years and years, trying to get the right help for me, because therapy doesn't always work. Medication doesn't always work. Going years and years, going to different specialists to try and help me just didn't work. So then by the end of it, they told me to continue with my music. That was the only thing that would work and keep me relatively calm. I can let everything out just on my guitar. I can let anything out when I'm belting out a scream. So it was when Compose and Destroy come about, there was a few changes in the previous band, and it didn't really go down well. I was going through a few stuff with myself. My mental health wasn't great, and I pretty much just wrote that, and the lyrics says it all. Ian wrote the lyrics for that. I picked out the lyrics because it was the only one that resonates with me. And yeah, on the outside, I composed myself very, very well. But on the inside, I very much destroy myself and everything around me. And so yeah, that's why that song means so much to me, and as to why I'm so glad it hit onto the EP. I would tell anyone out there, if there's any sort of artistic route, they'll just help you, whether it's writing a letter, writing a song, a poem, painting a painting, whatever you can do to get that vice, do it. It's better than any therapy out there, in my opinion, better than any medication out there, in my opinion. For me, music, that's my therapy. That is my medication.
Dan, I appreciate you sharing that to everybody listening. And as I said before, very, very brave. And Dan, I'm going to ask you to introduce that song. How you fancy doing that?
So this is Compose and Destroy. Hopefully you guys can feel something from it the way that it makes me feel.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, Dan, that song was absolutely fantastic. It really was. It resonated with myself and no doubt to other listeners. And I know that people are going to run out now. They're going to grab that EP and yeah, keep it for themselves and treasure that. Now, just quickly moving on, your new EP, we've talked about that to some degree. It's out now, the first cut, released on 26th of July. It's doing very well, I'm told as well. And what I find is that it's innovative, it's dynamic, and as we've noted before, Dan's words, no compromise, totally. Now, do you want to share the journey, the kind of passion, the challenges that you guys have been through getting to where you are now?
Yes, certainly. I'll take this one. Yeah, certainly. It's been a bit of a journey, as you say. We only recently formed at the start of the year through projects. Just with the pressure of lockdown, put a lot of strain on what was previously going on. So once we found each other and we kind of decided that's the route, like I think Dan brought a few songs, I brought a few songs, and we kind of see what worked together. And then in the space of I think it was when we got the first vocal recordings back from Lazarus, which I think was in 48 hours. So it's a massive turnaround. It's my jaw hit the floor. I was like, yes, this is exactly what the song needed. And the way he picks up on the emotions of a song, and because if you think about it, obviously we just give him music, and then he turns around and goes boom and just chucks it back in our face with these awesome melodies. And the journey so far has just been an eye-opening for us. I mean, every band has had to change and obviously work with COVID and the restrictions and who contacts are, and obviously gigs being shut down. So I think for a lot of bands out there, there's been a lot of pressure on trying to change that dynamic of how music's going, being more digital, making more contacts through online, and obviously people now looking at their screens a lot more than going to gigs. Hopefully that will change in the next few months. But I think for us, it has been and especially a challenge that we're trying our absolute best to work through. And I know a lot of bands are working through. So I think that's our biggest challenge so far.
I think, Steve, the issue of COVID and lockdown has affected, as you say, many people. But what I'm seeing is a lot of creativity and some wonderful music coming out of the scene as well. And that takes me to my next question. Now, you are very, very talented together as a collective. You're a great bunch of guys. And something that strikes me is you're all very, very humble. And my advice to you would be to never lose that. You have a bright future in metal, no doubt about that at all. Now, my question to you is, how have your peers in the business received you? Because you are up there, your top drawer. Have they been supportive or otherwise?
You know what, Jim? We've been very surprised by the response we've had to the releases that we've put out there, because, these were the first 4 tracks we've ever come up with. And it was a bit nerve-wracking to put them out there. And, the worst case scenario would be no one listened to them. No one bought them. No one cared. And to see hundreds of plays, hundreds of streams, hundreds of orders, it's just been amazing. And I just think this is a small taste of what's to come, and I'm just really excited. We've had a lot of pursuit with reviewing our music, which is a very interesting process that I've not been a part of before. So I've learned a lot about getting your music reviewed. And one thing I've learned is that music is very subjective. You can't please everyone. But I think for the most part, we've been using online tools to get our stuff reviewed, mainly by peers, not so much by professionals at the moment. But the general response is that it's very good.
and you're still, it's important to note, you're still very much unsigned, aren't you? Everything you're doing yourselves.
Yep, totally independent at the moment.
It's a lot of hard. Sorry, Jim, I was looking to further.
It's okay, Steve.
Yeah, I was just gonna say on that point, it is a lot of hard work, and people rarely see what happens behind the scenes, and chatting to promoters, and even making such a great contact like yourself, Jim, and you've been completely. I just want to mention that you've been completely supportive of us since day one, and it's been so refreshing and it's so helpful for bands like us. So we can't thank you enough.
You're welcome. You're absolutely welcome, all of you. It really is kind of my pleasure. We're not quite over yet. Now, Steve, you touched on it earlier on. Just give us an insight into, what's next. What's the next big thing for Worship? the sacrifice?
We've got a lot of things in the pipeline. At the moment, we're actually finishing our catalogue of songs. So we've got somewhere in the region of, I don't know if it's a real X amount, but like we've got somewhere like 15 different tracks that we're working on at the moment. And for us, it's a case of we want to get our live shows done, actually perform live now that the restrictions are easing up, and obviously play to hopefully make like loads of new fans while seeing what we're like and having that energy live. We also got a video being produced hopefully next month, which is going to be absolutely incredible. I cannot wait for that. And then, it's just finishing the album and trying to get the album out as quickly as possible.
Now, the brand new EP, as we said before, it's out now. It's available on all good digital platforms, isn't it? It's called The First Cut. From that, you've given a bonus track, haven't you? A free track. That's called No Laughing Matter. It's absolutely brilliant. I love it. It's a scary, scary tune. Steve, it's your baby. Do you want to share a wee bit about that and perhaps give an introduction, and I'll press that play button?
Yeah, of course. No Laughing Matter it's one of those, as you say, like the moment you hear it, that first riff, it's just an evil song. And it was one of those songs that the moment I wrote it, like I literally phoned up Dan. I was like, Dan, I wrote this song. It's evil. We have to have it. And then the moment I got the lyrics back from Lazarus, that was it. And obviously it's the lyrical content based around the 2016 clown sightings, and just going a deep dive into that and the whole different perspective thrown in it. I absolutely love what Lazarus did to it, and he knows I love him. But it's absolutely incredible. So here is the absolute evil track, No Laughing Matter. Hope you enjoy it.
Clown sightings are happening across the country, and it's no laughing matter.
This clown is crazy, I don't think he's even from this planet. He's loving like a man, but acting like he's going at it. He has some guts to bear, his body might be taken. He's loving good, the body's shining, and I'm on my planet. This clown is crazy, I don't think he's even from this planet. He's loving like a man, but acting like he's going at it. He has some guts to bear, his body might be taken.
Dozens of reports of threatening clowns.
29 bodies buried under Gacy's suburban Chicago home.
Police have identified a fifth victim in their birthday party. The bizarre clown craze has intensified.
A scary clown is the latest in a string of reported sightings.
This clown is crazy, I don't think he's even from this planet. He's coming like a man, but acting like he's going at it. He has some guts to bear, his body might be taken. like a mama, acting like he's going on it. He hasn't got to bed, yeah, not in a place I done it. It's only kind of what it's started, I don't want to. This guy's crazy, I don't think he's in my father's money. He's having like a mama, acting like he's going on it. He hasn't got to bed, yeah, not in a place I done it. It's not the little boy, sorry, it's a moment of it. I'm just a clown, I'm a crazy, don't you understand it? I'm coming like a mama, cause I'm in your place and money. I have no fear of God, but I really am satanic.
So there you go. You've had it. No laughing matter. You've heard it here first on Hard Rock Hill Radio. Well, guys, it's really time to say goodbye to Steve, Dan, and Lazarus. You guys have been brilliant. Listen, you've got a bright future in front of each and every one of you. And all of us here at Hard Rock Hill Radio wish you and everybody else involved in the band all the very, very best in moving forward.
Yeah, massive shout out to you, Jim. Thank you so much for hosting us. Thank you for all the support that you've shown so far. It really means a lot to us, honestly. Couldn't have done a lot of things without you, mate, honestly.
Lazarus, thanks very much. Steve, Dan, listen, take care, guys. All the very best. Cheers now.
Cheers.